Welcome class back to Project 3 Web Applications. This video is the 7th video in our series and it's going to cover the section allowing users to own their data, pages 428 through 435. So users should be able to enter data exclusive to them. So we'll create a system to figure out which data belongs to which user. So in our previous section, we actually set up some user accounts. Maybe you have a user account called LL_ENV, but in addition, maybe you created another one. Mine is Amy_Helgeson. So we can continue to create those user accounts through the registration page. And so we're going to kind of run through the scenarios in this section of what we're going to do with data that is owned by those users. Okay, so we'll restrict access to certain pages so users can work with only their data. We'll modify the topic model first. So every topic belongs to a specific user. This will also take care of entries because every entry belongs to a specific topic. So we're going to first start by creating some login requirements, and we're going to start with learning logs in our views file. So page 429, we are going to enter in another import statement. So we're entering in a decorator. And what is a decorator? It's a directive placed just before a function definition that Python applies to the function before it runs to alter how that function code behaves. So we first have to bring in the decorator. Right? And then we're going to actually import specifically login required. And that makes sense. So we are going to make sure that our user is required to be logged in order to look at topics. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter this in before topics. So login required. Let's go ahead and save this. Okay, so the code in login required checks whether a user is logged in, and Django runs the code in topics only if they are. If the user isn't logged in, they're redirected to the login page. So to make this redirect work, we first need to modify settings. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go up to learning log and then open the settings file. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and we're going to add in what you see on page 429. Okay, so now when an unauthenticated user requests a page protected by the @login_required decorator, Django will send the user to the URL defined by the login URL. Okay, and so we're going to send us to the login page. Now we're going to test this by logging out of any user account and then clicking on topics. So let's first get our server up and running, or our learning environment. So we're going to get into learning log. And then we got to go ahead and activate. So I got to think in my brain here. Oh, I always forget the first part. It's the one I struggle with. Okay, and then so we'll go ahead and get that server up and running so we can go ahead and test our local host. So what did I type, Brian? I can actually see the misspelling right there, right? AUTH. So let's jump back over here. AUTH. And we got it clean. So let's go ahead and stop this and bring in our local host. Okay. So to test, we click on the topics link. okay, which should redirect you to the login page. Okay, so there is the login. Then log into any of your accounts, and from the home page, click topics again. So we'll go ahead and log in with that, and then we'll click on topics, and so then we're able to see them. So again, that's the @login required decorator. Okay. So the next section is talking about restricting access throughout Learning Log. So we're going to decide which pages we need to protect. Okay, and so we're going to add the @login required decorator to most of our functions within views. So let's just copy. Okay, we're going to leave the home page alone. We're going to say topic as well, and new topic, and new entry, and also edit entry. All have to have a login required. Okay, so it says to test, try accessing each of these pages while logged out. You'll be redirected back to the login page. So let's go ahead and log out. First of all, let's go ahead and make sure there's no issues. And then we'll go ahead and log out. And then let's just try to go to topics. And actually, if I wanted to do entry, it would be in a different way. So I'm going to go ahead and log in once. And then I'm going to go to topics. And then I'm going to go to chess. And I'm going to say add new entry. I'm going to copy this URL. And I'm going to log out. And then I'm just going to try to backdoor it, right? Go through the address bar. So there it directs me back to the login page. Okay, so even though I can't navigate through the navigation itself, it's still forcing that @login, because users can go up here. They could get it from their history, okay, but they could also type in the URL as well. Okay, next we want to connect data to certain users. So we are going to modify the topic model to do so. And then we're going to identify existing users and actually assign one of those users to all of the topics and entries that are currently in our system. Okay, so we're going to first connect the data to the user who submitted it. We need to connect only the data highest in the hierarchy to a user, and the lower level data will follow. Okay, so topic, okay, is the highest level, entry would be, towards the lower levels. As long as each topic belongs to a specific user, we can trace the ownership of each entry in the database. So we're going to modify the topic model by adding a foreign key relationship to the user. Okay, so we're going to go actually open up models, and we're going to modify it with a foreign key. Okay, so first off, we're going to come with a new import. I'm typing it wrong again. Models, import user. Okay, and then we're going to assign owner. So in the class of topic here. Okay, so what do these statements do? Okay, so first we're importing the user model from the Django contrib authorization package. Then we add an owner field to topic, which establishes a foreign key relationship to the user model. If the user is deleted, all the topics associated with that user will be deleted as well. So next we're going to identify some existing users. So if you forgot what users you created in previous section, this is where we're going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and control break out of here. Okay, so I'm back to my learning log prompt. I'm going to Python, so I'm going to get really into kind of a shell or like a terminal within my learning environment. Okay, oh, typed that wrong. Yes, I did mean shell. Okay, so let's type it right this time. Okay, so the next one we're just going to do our statement here, our import. Okay, let's find out what our users are, right? So user objects all. Okay, so here's my two users. My user is Amy_H, not Helgeson. So LL_admin and then also Amy_H. Okay, so for user, oh, what did I type in wrong here? Oh, forgot my colon. This typo tonight. Tab in, print, user, yeah, username. Okay, let's make sure I have everything typed right there. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter twice. Okay, and so these are the numbers that are associated with my usernames. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay, so the actual like user ID associated with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to migrate the database, and we're just going to follow exactly what's on page 432. Okay, so now that we know the IDs, okay, 1 and 2, we can migrate the database. And when we do this, Python will ask us to connect the topic model to a particular owner temporarily, or to add a default to our models.py file to tell it what to do. So we're going to choose option 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and come out of here. I think we can get out of there. Okay. And I did a Control-Z on my keyboard in a Windows. So Python, manage py, make migrations, learning_logs. Okay, so it says, please select a fix. Okay, you're trying to add a non-nullable field owner to topic without a default. We can't do that. Okay, and I got to read in here what it says. The database needs something to populate existing rows. Please select a fix. Provide a one-off default now. Be set on all existing rows with a null value for this column. Quit and let me add a default in models.py. We're going to do option 1. Okay, please enter the default now as valid Python. Okay, the date and time Django time zone modules are available, so you can do timezone.now or type exit to exit this prompt. Okay, I believe we type in 1 again. Okay, and then migrations for learning logs. Okay, so it added field owner to topic. Okay, and that's the results that you want here. Okay, so Django migrated the database using this value and generates the migration to 0003 topic_owner.py, which adds the field owner to the topic model. Now we can execute the migration. Okay, so now we're going to type in Python manage migrate. And I'm just going to do this. Okay, and we got success there as well. Okay, so coming back into our shell, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into our shell and type in from learning_logs dot models import topic. Okay, for And don't forget that colon. Tab in. Okay, and the reason we're doing this is so we can see that what we just did was successful. Okay, so what owner is associated with each topic? Hit enter twice, and so we can see chess is associated with LL_admin, and so is rock climbing. And again, that's because the ID 1, okay, if I scroll up here, 1, and that's the option that I sent through here, is assigned. Okay. Okay, restricting topics access to appropriate users. So here we're going to come into the views file, and we're going to modify the line in the topics function. So I'll modify, okay, we're going to modify this line. So we're going to add in a filter. We're going to filter by owner, request.user. Okay, so that's the modification that you want to do to that line. Filter owner equal request.user. Okay, so when a user is logged in, the request object has a request.user attribute that stores the information about the user. The query topic .objects.filter owner request.user tells Django to retrieve only the topic objects from the database whose owner attribute matches the current user. Okay, so we just saw through here that it should bring back these topics because those are associated with that particular user. Oh, come back here. Okay, so to see if this works, we're going to log in as the user that is connected. So in my case, the LL_ENV. Okay, and then we're going to log out, and I'm going to log in with the other one and see that we cannot see the topics. Okay, so let's go ahead and first save this file. Make sure that I'm going to go ahead and pop out of here and run the server here to make sure I've got everything clean. Okay, we'll go ahead and log in. See, I see my topics, chess, okay, and rock climbing. Okay, but I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in with the Amy_H. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and click on topics, and notice that I have no topics, okay, because that's not associated with that particular user. Hey, we're getting there. We have a couple more pages left. So protecting a user's topics. So this is the views.py file again. So we haven't restricted access to the topic pages yet. So any registered user could try a bunch of URLs. So again, if they're crafty, if they're going to use their history, they can go ahead and use it up here. I use my history all the time. Okay, so try it yourself. While logged in as the user that owns all topics, copy the URL. Okay, so let's go ahead and log out and log back in as my one that owns everything and get into topics, and let's go to chess. Okay, and I'm going to copy this URL, and I'm going to go ahead and log out, log in with my other one. I'm going to say never save on this. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. Okay, and look, I can still see even though I'm not logged in. Okay, so that's the issue that we are having with this prior to this section that we're going to enter in. Okay, so views, we're going to enter in a new import. So Django HTTP import HTTP 404. Okay, so 404 is, page not found, and so that's what we're going through here. Okay, so we're going to enter this in a couple places. In the topic function as well as the edit entry function. So let's get into topic, and after the line of topic, we're going to enter in the code that's in the middle of page 434. Oh, didn't select the right one. Request. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing in the edit entry. Okay, so I'm just going to do both of these and then go ahead and test both of them. So this one is after topic. Okay, make sure that the indentation is correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this. So in order to test this, you want to try to view another user's topic entries. So you'll see a page not found message. So we need to log out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and log out, log in as the one that is associated with the topics. We'll go into rock climbing here. We're going to copy this. I'm going to log out, log back in as Amy_H. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that URL up here. Okay, and that's what you should get, is the page not found. Okay, and that's that HTTP 404. Okay, now further to test the entry, we're going to go ahead and log out, log back in as the one that owns. Okay, go into topics. Let's go ahead and edit an entry. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to log out, log back in as my other user, and then I'll go ahead and paste that up here. Okay, and again, you should be getting a page not found error. Okay, the last section is associating new topics with the current user. Okay, so we defaulted everything to one user, but now if we add in some new topics, we want them to be associated with the current user that is logged in. Okay, so to do that, we do that in our views file, and we are in the new topic function. And so if form is valid, okay, we're going to be in this section here, and we're going to add a new topic. So we first call form save. I try not to hover over because then you get those tooltips popping up. When we first call form save, we pass the commit false argument because we need to modify the new topic before saving it to the database. We then set the new topic's owner attribute to the current user, okay, and that's request.user. Finally, we call save on the topic instance just defined. Now the topic has all the required data and will save successfully. So now you should be able to add as many new topics as you want for as many different users as you want. Each user will have access only to their data when they're viewing data, entering new data, or even modifying old data. And that ends this section, okay, allowing users to own their own data, pages 428 through 435. If you have any questions, any difficulties, please let me know. Thanks.